Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I got one for you from a small town out of Louisiana. Where they had a new elected mayor, and there's some caveats here where this particular mayor of this small town in Bogalusa, Louisiana, was only 25 years old. And whether you are mayor of a big city or a small city, the responsibilities are the same, and you are going to be held accountable as the leader of your city. And knowing the difference between right and wrong, and doing what's right and not what's wrong. And unfortunately, this mayor is in a heap and world of trouble. Here's a cautionary tale. Today is the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday. And also, coincidentally, it is the inauguration of the newly elected President Donald Trump for a second time. So those are your, Trump being in office is your federal and national politics. But I say in many of my videos, we need to pay attention to our local politics and hold these politicians and legislators accountable. Many of the policies that they are putting forth affect you each and every day versus your federal laws, or can affect you. Your federal laws will affect you each and every day with the Supreme Court and how they rule, the presidential office and its legislation, your U.S. senators, your Congress people, but also you need to know your local politics. And of course, we need to hold our mayors and our state and city legislators accountable for the things that they do and how they're legislating their cities. So let's get into this one about Louisiana. 25-year-old guy, Louisiana mayor accused of being a part of a drug trafficking organization. Bogalusa, which has a population of about 10,000 people, is about 74 miles from New Orleans. And we know what took place on New Year's Eve in New Orleans with the unfortunate situation with the man that killed several people. They're calling it a terrorist attack. So let's get in this one. The mayor of Louisiana City has been arrested for illegally assisting in the distribution of illegal drugs, including opioids, high-grade marijuana, THC products, and MDMA, police said. Tywin Trong, the 25-year-old mayor of Bogalusa, has been charged with conducting transactions involving proceeds from drug offenses, using someone else's personal property without their consent, and soliciting prostitutes, Louisiana State Police announced last Tuesday. They say we have zero tolerance for wrongdoing, especially from public officials. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Muriel said in the police news release. Muriel. What is Tywin Trong accused of? Or Mayor Tywin Trong? Trong, along with 6 other Bogalusa residents, were subject to search and arrest warrants following an investigation done by the Louisiana State Police Narcotics and Violent Crime Task Force. State officials were looking into a drug trafficking organization in Bogalusa, which is a city of about 10,000 people, according to the U.S. Census. The operation began back in April 2024 and spanned over several months, police said. Throughout the investigation, the task force found that members of the alleged drug trafficking organization used social media to distribute illicit illegal substances and manage payments according to the department. Investigators also found that profits from the drug sales were used to buy guns. Some of the firearms were given to people prohibited from legally possessing them, while others were linked to violent crimes in the Bogalusa area, the department added. We are going to continue to invest time and resources into helping the citizens of Bogalusa. We are not finished, District Attorney Colin Sims said in a release. All 7 individuals allegedly a part of the drug trafficking organization, including Mayor Trong, are currently in Washington Parish Jail, inmate records show. The 6 others accused of participating in the organization have either drug-related distribution or transaction charges, police said. So what did Mayor Trong have to say? He said, "Joy is coming in the morning." That was his statement. Mayor Trong is being held on a $150,000 bond, according to inmate records. Following his arrest, the mayor posted a message on his Facebook page saying, "Joy comes in the morning." Now, I don't know what that means. In 2022, Mayor Trong ran as a Democratic candidate for mayor of Bogalusa, the New Orleans Advocate reported. He secured 56% of the vote and beat out incumbent Wendy O'Quinn Perrette, who received just 19% of the vote, according to the outlet. And Wendy appears to be in her 40s versus this 25-year-old black man. Since being elected, and Wendy Perrette was a white female. This kind of gets into this DEI situation, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Was he hired because of his color, or was he hired because of his character and his credibility to run a city? Since being elected, Mayor Trong has advocated for increased police presence on the city streets. That's ironic if he is alleged to be involved in a drug distribution ring. Said he increased police presence in the city streets, which is a stance some have attributed to Bogalusa's lower crime rates, the New Orleans Advocate said. So he wanted to increase police presence, but behind closed doors, he was allegedly part of a drug ring. That is very hypocritical and ironic. And the same increased police force are the same individuals that arrested him. Think about that. We feel like violent crime as a whole is down, Troy Tervalon, interim acting chief of the Bogalusa Police Department, told the outlet in March 2024. We've changed some things for the better. So what do we get out of this story? First of all, I think he's way too young to be a mayor of any city, whether it is 10 people, 10,000, 100,000, or 1 million. A 25-year-old does not even know who he is yet as a full-grown adult. He is in the beginning stages of his life. Can he even run a family? Was he married? Does he have children? Has he done some of these responsibility checkpoints before becoming the mayor of 10,000 people? Could he have managed a wife and 1 or 2 kids? There should be a certain measuring stick and a certain checkoff list when citizens are voting for their political leadership. I think there should be an age requirement to be mayor, to be governor, let alone there's an age requirement to be president. But a 25-year-old, I don't think, is prepared to run a city intellectually, business-wise, psychologically, philosophically. He is not a fully developed human being yet. And if these allegations are true, this shows you a clear example that his age and his arrogance got in the way of his leadership responsibilities. 25 is way too young. And whether you're the mayor of a big city or a small city, you still have the title of being the mayor, the one who is supposed to have governance over your city. These are some serious allegations, It's unfortunate that he get voted in. I don't know the demographics from a race standpoint on Bogalusa. Was he hired because he was a man of color? Was this a DEI issue? There are several mayors throughout our country in major cities that are in hot water, whether it's Eric Adams out of New York City, and of course the debacle that is going on in the city of Chicago with Mayor Brandon Johnson. And then we also know with the wildfires in LA County, the mayor of LA is in hot water because she took a trip to Africa the day before the wildfire started, and she was 70 years old. So sometimes chronology, your age does not matter. It should be all about your character and your level of intellectual maturity. And the mayor dropped the ball on the wildfire scenario while she was out of town, I think in Ghana, at a celebration for the new president of Ghana. She dropped the ball there, and she is in a ton of hot water. You also have the mayor of Oakland, who they did a recount. They did a scenario where they wanted her out of office because of the liberal laws and the decimation of Oakland. And she left office on a recount by the citizens of Oakland. They were tired of her. And she has been recently indicted by the feds. You take these political positions and you are going to be in the spotlight with the federal government, your city and state governmental agencies, and the feds are going to be busy arresting these politicians that are not doing the right thing, whether it's the mayor of Oakland, the mayor of New York City, and even possibly the mayor of Chicago and Brandon Johnson. We have to do a wake-up call and make sure that we hold these politicians and legislators accountable for representing us as tax-paying citizens in America. Tell me what you think about this story. This 25-year-old Tyron Trong, who was the mayor of Bogalusa, Louisiana, and has been allegedly accused of being part of a drug trafficking conspiracy and organization. It's unfortunate. Does his age have anything to do with it, or was he just an arrogant, thought he was above the law kind of person, and now he's gotten caught in this web of chaos and disruption, and he's going to have to answer to a judge and a courtroom? Tell me what you think. This has been a Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.